Hey everyone, this is emoneynyc, and I'm going to do a recap of the 4 trades that I traded. Here's the monthly core retail sales. Notice the risk is 3, so I decided to only trade 1 contract. And I'm going to show you all my trades, whether they're winners or losers. I just want people to see what a week of JOBB is like. And this is definitely a great week for everyone who just joined. So here it is, 8:30 a.m. and I'm making sure that my clock is set up right. I see that we're at 15 seconds for the reported breakout and just waiting patiently for the news to come out. So here JOBB is going to activate. Only 1 contract, and we get filled going along. Right away, look how I manually set up a close right at the R1, hoping that it's going to keep popping up. And it doesn't. I see that it's not really moving much. So I'm contemplating, should I get out, break even? My stop loss is at 10 ticks below, so I'm risking 10 ticks on 1 contract, $100. And I see that it's probably just going to eat it up, so I decided to close out here. And I saved myself 1 tick, which, I did what I had to do there. So there was no avoiding that. I got out $90 in the red. I could have got a little bit earlier. Now we're going to move on to the 10-year bond auction. Risk level 1, so I decided to pump up the contracts. This is something that I only started to do recently. I'm trading 4 contracts on this one. We have the brackets that just broke out. And notice that it's 1302, and even though on Forex Factory it says 1300, which is 1 o'clock, there's about a minute and a half delay. So we just wait patiently. Jay definitely advises us about this, so it's nothing new. And I'm just waiting patiently for a big spike to happen. So again, notice by the way that I changed the number of contracts on the right to 2 because I want to get out, even though I have 4 contracts pending, long and short, I want to get out with 2 contracts immediately, and then I'm going to let 2 ride to see if I could get more. So look how I right click here, it went up, so we need to sell. So I put a sell limit of 2 and then another sell limit. So I'm hoping that I could get it at 14 and 16. So what happens? It pops, and my motto is take the green. So, and you're gonna see me do that for the first 2, and then over here I'm gonna play around a little bit and watch the danger that happens when you don't listen to my advice, my own advice. What happens is when you don't take the green right away, you then end up in a situation where all of a sudden we could have gotten out at 14, and look, now the candle's going against us. So I just want you to imagine yourself being in this trade. For those of you who weren't, how do you feel right now? Look at this. Right now, $62 on the board, where a second ago we had $200, $300 on the board, all because of greed. Because I thought that I could keep going higher. So now look what I'm doing. I'm playing around. I'm trying to just get out here with $187 on those 2 contracts. I'll be happy with that. Now, this is, just the way that I'm reacting to this because I'm not so used to trading with 4 or 5 contracts, and I don't want to end up losing on this trade, especially since there's such a perfect exit on the first spike that it did. So what I do here is I'm not panicking for sure. I have my stop loss in place, and I decide not to move it up, even though I probably could move it up just below the 200. And I'm going to see if I could get out right at 12, 14112. And again, we can't panic when it starts going against us. This is the risk that you take when you don't get out right away when you have the green. And sometimes it works in your favor where it'll go even higher. And then sometimes if you're not able to ride out this heat, then you're going to start messing around like I am just to get out. And this is what I did. I got out here at 104, 111. So in total, I made, so it says $347.50, but that's already also netting the $90 loss. So we actually made $90 on top of that. But with the $90 loss right now, with those 2 trades, we're up $347. And I just basically fast forward the video and notice, look at this. See, I panicked and I kind of got out there a little early. Look how it came up, but that's totally fine. Next is the Australian report. And I'm going to show you a mistake that I made. Risk 2. So I thought I was planning on trading 4 or 5 contracts, or I think 3 contracts actually. Notice the quantity has 3, and guess what? You're going to see a mistake that I made, because look, only 1 contract was actually traded here. Huge spike north, by the way, unbelievable. The results were hugely hugely deviated, and look at this mistake that I'm making right here. I just got out with thinking that I still had 2 more contracts to get out with, because I originally thought I got in with 3 contracts, and it took me a while to realize that. So important to be paying attention to the details. Even though I've been doing this for quite a bit now, I still hadn't realized that I only traded 1 contract, because I said, oh, I had 3 quantity. I set up the ATM strategy, but for some reason I didn't save. So that's why only 1 contract was traded. So I'm showing you this mistake that I made because I want everyone to make sure that they don't make the same mistake. Well, look at that, $777.50 for the day in the green. This is net profit before commission. So if you consider the commission, it would probably still be well over 700. And unbelievable. I'm so happy with my performance for the day, but just unfortunate that I made that mistake, because if I would have traded 3 contracts, could have easily tripled what I had on the board. Last trade is a 30-year bond auction, risk of 1. So this time I'm making sure I'm not going to make the same mistake. I even spoke to Jay, and I watched him. He sent me the video, which is anyone who's new how to set up the ATM strategy. And here I'm actually showing you this how I carefully put in the parameters into the JOBB software. Starting off, I put stop 2, which is the setting that I have set up specifically for the 30-year bond auctions with a stop loss of 5 ticks. I'm putting in the time entry, the count. See, I switch it to real, to amp, not the sim. Enable it, and I recap. Stop 2, false, false, 1301.20, bracket distance 3, true, amp, and basically I apply and I click OK. So this time around, I'm not going to make the same mistake that I painfully learned the other day. And I have 5 contracts on the board here. So my initial thoughts were, if this thing spikes up, I imagine it to go quite a bit north, because I see there's a lot of SMAs on the bottom here. So my original plan is, if it goes north, to let it ride out a little bit, but if it goes down, to kind of get out as fast as I can. So look at this, it just went down and it broke through all the SMAs, and I'm trying to get out just a couple ticks below the S1. And this time around, I decided just to make things simple. So it went down, I right clicked and I clicked buy limit 5. And look what I'm doing right here. This is kind of greed in action, because I just wanted to, I saw it go down and I didn't want to get out. I wanted more and more. And now look at this heat that I'm now taking on. And to be honest with you, it really is no reason why you need to take any heat on the ZBs if you get out as soon as possible, because they do offer good opportunities to get out right away. So I move my stop limit up a little bit, and I'm hoping to get out here at 141.02, and I do. So actually, it says 898 on the board, but really what I made on this trade was $468, and amazing. And I'm showing you right now what would have happened. You see, if I would have just continued to mess around and try to get more ticks. Look at the next 20 minutes, how it just reversed after 1305 all the way up. So anyways, I hope this video was very informative of the 4 trades that I traded. Basically all the trades that Jay advised, except for the 2 crude oil inventory reports for both gas and crude oil. And lastly, I just want to say this is a great week for everyone who took action and joined JOBB. You know, when I first joined, I jumped right into trading with real money because I was used to trading the reports before manually. So whether or not you traded with real money, which hopefully you didn't, if you just joined, you should definitely first see how it works on simulation mode. I think this was a fantastic week for those of you who joined. And for those of you who didn't, well, maybe after seeing this video, you realize that this thing is real. You know, when we send out videos, when I say I made $2,600, some people are quick to think that, oh, this is a scam. It looks too good to be true. Well, here it is exposed. You see why some people can't do this. It's because some people just can't handle losing $90. The first trade that I made this week, I lost $90, and then I went to work. And some people just can't handle losing $9. So if you're the type of person, then perhaps this is not for you. But me knowing that the strategy works, that $90 loss to me really didn't do much, because I knew that that's just part of the game here. And on the next trade, I made I don't even remember, well over $400, and my net profits for this week were around $1,250, which is fantastic. Just fantastic. So I hope this is an informative video. There are a couple of nuggets to take in from this video. One, you could see how I close out of trades. I don't jump to click on the close button. Two, being very careful with ATM strategy. Make sure that you watch Jay's video on JOBB's website where he goes over how to correctly save the ATM strategy. That cost me another $800 because I had that stupid mistake. So these are great mistakes which you can benefit from watching me, and in the end it's okay because I was very profitable this week. But this is the real deal, guys. It's not. With that, I want to wish everyone a great weekend. Email me if you have any questions, emoneynyc@gmail.com, and I'll talk to you guys soon.